you're building your brawlers wrong. Hear me out. When you understand what abilities you need depending on the situation, you can make any brawler unstoppable. So today we're analyzing all 94 brawlers in the game and the best builds for all of them depending on the maps, the modes, and the opponent's matchups. As always, this video took a lot of time to make, so the best way to support me is to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Starting off, let's mention some basic things you need to know that are useful for every brawler build. First, every ability can be useful, but some abilities are more useful than others depending on the brawler. For example, vision gear fits brawlers that have a lot of projectiles such as Amber or Lola, but shield gear fits low HP brawlers like Piper or Barley. Secondly, some star powers and gadgets are simply better than the alternatives, so you should always want to be using those. For example, Otis and Sam are only useful with the correct star powers and gadgets because the other ones are plain terrible. Also, this is a list of all the mythic gears right now, ranked from worst to best for each brawler. And last, not all hypercharges are worth buying, so be careful not to spend 5k coins on a hypercharge that sucks, for example Pearls or Miko's. Lucky for you though, alongside with the builds, I also mention which hypercharges are worth buying and which aren't, so don't worry. But before we analyze every brawler and their best builds, I've got to tell you something that's been helping me a lot lately when I play Brawl Stars. We all know those moments when you're in the zone and you're winning, and then suddenly your game lags, your ping goes up, and boom, you're dead. Yeah, I was done with that, so I searched it up and I found the solution. If you're experiencing similar problems, you might want to hear this. I've been using Exit Lag Mobile for a month now, and it has helped me so much. Exit Lag is basically a game optimization tool designed to make your connection way faster and smoother. It's on iOS and Android, and it works with over 800 games such as Brawl Stars, Code Mobile, PUBG Mobile, Wild Rift, Mobile Legends, you know, all the big ones pretty much. All you do is open it, pick your game, and press one button to turn it on, and it finds the fastest, most stable way to connect to the server. Plus, it gives you tips like these, which are really useful to fully optimize your connection. Since I started using it, my ping has been way lower. I don't get random lag spikes, and I'm not teleporting around the map anymore. In Brawl Stars, that means I actually land my shots and win more fights, especially with brawlers like Mortis. But the best part is, you can try it out for free for 3 days with my link in the description or by scanning this QR code on screen. Just download Exit Lag Mobile, turn it on before your match, and you'll see the difference right away. Trust me, once you play without lag, you won't want to go back. It rhymes because it's true. And when you decide to get it for yourself, you can use code GBAB at checkout to get 15% off and enjoy any game without lag. Hurry up though, because this offer won't last forever. A huge thank you to Exit Lag for sponsoring today's video, and let's start with our first brawler. 8-bit is really underrated. Use his second gadget in Heist to deal some extra damage, and the teleport in every other game mode. His first star power is the one you should be using the most. You can deal some insane damage with it, but the second one speeds you up, so it's also a good alternative if you have harder matchups. And for gears, the health and reload are perfect for 8-bit, but you can use the damage instead of health too, especially in Heist. His hypercharge is decent, but it's not worth buying in my opinion. But you can try it and see how you feel. Alli is still really good in the meta. You should be using her second gadget and star power almost every time. Only use the other ones if you're playing in passive modes and against tougher matchups. Now you can never go wrong with shield and damage, but the health gear is really good too, and it also synergizes well with her first star power. Amber is slowly becoming one of the best brawlers in the game. Always use the first star power and combine it with the first gadget to passively charge up your super. Against tankier brawlers though, pick the other gadget. Amber's best gears are the reload and damage ones by far, but make sure to bring vision with you and bush your maps. Make sure to buy her hypercharge too, it's super worth it. Angelo is a solid brawler since his release. Use the first gadget against aggressive brawlers. The second one requires you to play with Claw Grip though, to press it while aiming. His first star power is a must, but use the second one in maps that have a lot of water. As for gears, shield and damage are really good, but you can use vision as well to spam your shot without charging it up to scout the bushes. His hypercharge takes a lot of time to charge up, but it's definitely a good one, so it's worth buying. But Angelo is super strong without it as well, so keep that in mind. Ash is always a strong pick in the right hands. I always pick Rotten Banana just because of its 8-second cooldown, but feel free to use the other gadget if you're facing against tougher matchups and you need to stay alive. Ash's reload speed is fast, so the second star power is not that useful. So buy the first one and make sure to hold on to all your ammo if you want to use it correctly. I never change from speed and damage, but you can try out the health here too. And as for the hypercharge, it's really strong, so definitely worth buying. Barley is next. next, and although he might not be the strongest, he's really good against the right matchup. You can use the first gadget if you're playing against a lot of aggressive brawlers, but pros use Herbal Tonic almost all the time. The second star power is the better one overall, but the heal one is better if you're facing against other throwers or low HP brawlers. I never change shield and gadget cooldown, but you can try the damage gear too and see if it works. When Barley is higher in the meta, he can be used in more passive game modes too, so vision gear might also be helpful, but he also has a really strong hyper, so definitely consider buying it too. B is the most versatile sniper right now. Use her first gadget against other snipers and the second one everywhere else. Also, the second star power is the better one overall, and the other one is not worth buying. The shield is just too good, and for gears I would choose either damage or gadget cooldown in combination with the shield, but you might get value from the vision gear too, especially in bushier maps to hit those 4K shots. B is really strong even without a hyper, but it's still a really good hyper, so I'll leave that up to you. If you don't know what sniper to pick, you can always go Belle. Her nest egg gadget is better in more aggressive modes where you know that the enemy will eventually reach your side of the map, but you can also use the other one to get some trickshot kills in passive modes. Use the second star power against assassins or tanks and the first one everywhere else. As for gears, you just need the shield and reload ones. Her hypershot super is not that strong, but you can get a lot of value from the buff she gets when she presses it, so it's a good one overall. Barry is really underrated because pros seem to use him consistently. Always use the second gadget in heist. Press it and aim it to the safe. In any other game mode, use the knockback one. His first star power is far better than his second, and he also needs the shield and damage gears. His hypercharge can be charged while healing you and your team, and it's really strong, especially combined with tankier brawlers, so I would definitely buy it if I were you. Bibi is not that strong, but she's still annoying to face against sometimes. Always use the first gadget and star power. The other ones are not worth buying. And for gears, I would go shield and health all the time, but you can also try out the gadget cooldown and the speed ones. Bibi has fallen off the meta, but her hypercharge is really good for her kit, so definitely worth buying. Bo is good against bad players, but better ones know how to dodge his mines consistently. Use the second gadget in Brawl Ball and the first one everywhere else. But the stun star power is the first thing you should buy for him. If you're playing him in super bushy maps like Snake Prairie though, you should always use the first one. For gears, the reload one is a must, and you can get a lot of value out of either the health or the damage gears. His hypercharge is also really strong, and it combines well with the stun too. Bonnie has gone up the meta since her rework. Her build is simple. Always use the first star power and gadget, no questions asked. Now the supercharged gear allows her to charge up her super in 3 hits instead of 4, so buy that alongside with the shield, health or gadget cooldown gears. And her hypercharge is busted, so you can go ahead and buy that too. Brock is not that good right now, but he can be used as a wall breaker in some maps, so go the second gadget most times, except if you're facing against a lot of aggressive brawlers. His first star power is better, but feel free to pick the second one in more passive modes. Now the shield and reload gears are necessary for Brock, but I wouldn't say the same for his hypercharge. Bull finally got reworked and he's now much easier to play. Use Stomper and Tough Guy every time, and only change to his first star power and gadget if you're playing heist. I always use health and gadget cooldown, but to be honest, every gear can benefit Bull depending on the situation. Well, except the vision gear, of course. The hypercharge is not broken, but you can get a lot of value out of it, so I'll leave that up to you. Buster is still really good in the meta because of his passive supercharging. Always go with the second gadget and star power. The other ones are meh. As for gears, I think the best ones are speed and gadget cooldown, but you can try all the other ones too, except vision again. His hypercharge is not game changing, but definitely a good one because you can charge it up passively too. Buzz is a really strong assassin and he can counter a lot of meta brawlers right now if played correctly. Use the first gadget most times, except if you're playing in a really bushy map. The first star power is good against tanks, but use the second one everywhere else. I wouldn't change damage and speed for the most part, but you can try health or shield if you're playing in a passive mode. And as for his hyper, buy it. Now, fun fact number 1. Byron was the first brawler I mastered. The sensational title is still one of my favorites. I always use the second gadget, even against snipers. I also personally never change from the melee star power, but you can pick the other star power too if the enemy doesn't have aggressive brawlers. And for gears, you can't go wrong with shield and damage, but you can try gadget cooldown too, see if you like it. Carl is really versatile. You can change between both gadgets and use him as a damage dealer with the first one or as an assassin with the flying hook one. His second star power is better overall, as well as the damage and gadget cooldown gears, but you can also buy the vision to not let enemies sneak up on you in bushier maps. His hypercharge Charge, good one, but not worth spending 5,000 coins for it in my opinion. Charlie is meta again, and it's already starting to annoy me. She's really good with her Spider's gadget, but feel free to pick the other one if the enemies have piercing attacks. I always find more value out of her second star power, but I feel this might be personal preference. Shield and damage gears are all you need, but pick the gadget cooldown gear if you want to be extra annoying, or the vision gear in more bushy maps. And her hypercharge is not good, so I wouldn't buy it if I were you. Chester is one of the best anti-tanks. I personally use candy beans, but you can try the first gadget too and see which one you like. As for star powers, the first one is better, but for gears it depends. Go speed and vision in bushy maps and experiment with the remaining 4 if the map is more open. Also, his hyper is really strong and really worth getting. Chuck is actually really fun to play. Use the first gadget most times, but switch to the second one if you can set up your posts in a way you can get value out of going through walls. His first star power as well as the shield and damage gears are the best, but you can try out the health one too. And please, don't spend your coins to buy his hypercharge. It's just not worth it. Clancy is not that strong anymore. I would argue that his first gadget is better, but it becomes useless after you reach level 3. So it's definitely personal preference, but against tougher matchups, the dash can help you avoid heavy damage. His first star power is really good, and I feel like you don't need the second one because you get most kills with your super. Again, personal preference, but always use the shield and speed gears because you want to be picking him against tanks and bushier maps. His hypercharge might seem broken on paper, but I wouldn't buy it because it's overkill most of the time. Collette is falling down the meta with every update, but she still has some use cases. Use her second gadget all the time and the second star power most times, except if you're playing against multiple tanks. Her damage and gadget cooldown gears are the better ones, but you can also buy shield and vision as alternative. Her hypercharge is definitely worth buying, especially for heist. For all Colt mains out there, he's really bad right now, I'm sorry guys, but you can use the first gadget and second star power to play him in heist. The second gadget is better if you're picking him to break open the map and counter the enemy comp, and the first star power is probably the better one in general. Always use the reload gear, and then you can switch between the gadget cooldown and the damage gear. His hypercharge is decent, so go ahead and buy it if you want to, but be aware that it's not that useful in heist. Colt is top 3 in the meta right now for sure. Use his jump gadget most times and only switch to the other one if you're facing against multiple aggressive brawlers. Although I would argue that even in those cases, the jump gadget is still better. The first star power is the go-to pick, but feel free to change it if you're facing tougher matchups and you need to heal up more often. Cordelius is squishy, so shield and damage gears are the best ones for him, and his hypercharge is definitely one of the best ones out there, so don't be afraid to buy it. Surprisingly, Crow started to rise up the meta. You can use his shield gadget to become a mini tank and make it extra hard for your opponents to take you down, especially in modes where kills matter. But in more controlling modes, the slow toxin one is really good. I mostly use the second star power because I like dealing more damage, but the first one is really good against high DPS brawlers and can actually help your entire team in a way. For gears, go shield and either the mythic gear or the damage gear. His hypercharge definitely helps a lot, so consider buying it if you want to start playing Crow more. Darryl is a really strong assassin in the right hands. Use his first gadget and his second star power in heist, but the other ones in all other modes. Shield and damage gears are probably the better ones, but you can also pick the speed gear in bushier maps. His hypercharge is nothing special, and I wouldn't buy it if I were you. Am I the only one who is desperately waiting for a cool Doug skin? Anyway, with Doug, you should always go the second star power and gadget alongside with the speed gear, and you can then pick either damage or gadget cooldown for the second slot. His hypercharge is definitely worth it, and there are a lot of cheesy comps out there that depend on it. Dracoooo! Second gadget and star power most times. Only change to your first star power if you're playing him in heist. And as for gears, you can't go wrong with gadget cooldown and health, but speed can be used in bushier maps too. And his hypercharge? Yes. A million times yes. Nah, Dynamike. Really strong last pick, but unfortunately every Dyna player sucks. Always pick Satchel Charge, is probably the best gadget in the game still. Now if you're serious about winning, go the second star power. But Dyna Jump is still good if you want to have fun or if you actually practiced it. Now when a gadget has a long cooldown, it means you'll get more value out of the gadget cooldown gear. 15% of 10 seconds is 1.5 seconds, but 15% of 20 seconds? It's 3. So always use the gadget cooldown with Dynamike alongside with the shield or the damage gears, and definitely buy his hypercharge too. It's one of the best ones. Now Edgar is the best brawler in the game right now by far. Nah, just kidding. Use his second gadget in passive modes and the first one in more active ones. Now I couldn't find value out of using his fisticup star power as it doesn't change any interactions, even against tanks. Plus it's easier to aim your super with the first one equipped, so that's what I recommend. Pick the shield gear every time and either supercharge, health or gadget cooldown for the second slot. But you can definitely experiment with the vision gear too. Nah, just kidding again. Don't buy the vision gear for Edgar, please. His hypercharge is what's keeping Edgar alive, so definitely get it if you're planning on pushing him. Primoooo! Hit gadget all the time just for the memes. The star powers are personal preference, but I can't seem to hit my punches when I'm using the speed one. Skill issue? I think so too, yeah. But in general, the first one is better against tanks and the second one against tougher matchups. Always go supercharge on health gears, but don't buy his hypercharge. It's not worth 5,000 coins. Ems is actually really underrated. She hyper counters tanks, especially with her latest buffs. Use the friend zone gadget against aggressive brawlers, but feel free to change to the second one if you're not facing against anything aggro. Ems is picked to deal damage, so go with the first star power most of the time, except if the enemies don't have a lot of HP. For gears, go the damage. Speed pairs well with her too, but switch to shield if you're not playing in a bushy map. Her hypercharge is good, but I wouldn't say it's worth buying. Fun fact number 2. Eve was actually the first brawler that could walk on water. Now we just have way too many. Use her first gadget and star power. And personally, I never change her reload gear, but in general, you can use a variety of gears, such as the mythic one, as well as damage, vision, or shield. Eve's hyper is really strong and definitely worth buying. Fang is skilled, trust me. The stun gadget is simply better in my eyes, but you can use the popcorn one if you want to control important areas of the map. For his star power, Divine Souls is better because you want to be using Fang primarily to counter snipers in open maps, but feel free to use fresh kicks too if you're up for a challenge. Shield and health gears are a must, and his hypercharge is super strong too, so don't be afraid to buy it. Finx was once the best brawler in the game, but he fell off quickly. I wouldn't change from his first gadget and star power, as well as the damage and shield gears, but you can also pick vision in more bushy maps. Frank the Tank, let's see his best build. First gadget when the enemy has stuns or knockbacks to use your super without anyone interrupting you. If the enemy doesn't have any of these, go the other one. In my opinion, the first star power is better even after Frank got a HP nerf. And for gears, always make sure to have health and damage equipped and buy his hypercharge too. Gale is good on paper, but only for countering aggressive ideas. Go with the Twister most times, except if you're playing in maps where the jump pad can give you the advantage. You get value out of every one of your attacks while using the second star power, but you can also choose the stun if the map has a lot of walls. In bushier maps, use speed and vision. In every other map, go damage and shield. His hypercharge might take a while to charge, but it can turn the game around, so I would buy it if I were you. Fun fact number 3. I've been playing Brawl Stars for 6 years and I recently learned that Jean is a he, not a she. Insane, right? Anyway, pick her second gadget to counter snipers and the first one against any aggressive brawlers. And for the love of God, go the first star power to support your team, please. The mythic gear is his best gear and you can go vision, damage or shield for the second slot. His hypercharge though is not worth it, don't buy it. Gray is definitely one of the best and most versatile brawlers in the game. Always use his walking cane gadget. His first star power pairs well with the shield gear against single shot brawlers, but use the second star power in any other case. You can't go wrong with the gadget cooldown and either the shield or damage gear. And as for his hypercharge, it's definitely worth investing in. Griff is really strong right now. Use the piggy bank gadget and either the first star power to deal more consistent damage or the second one if you're facing against tougher matchups. I personally never change from the health and reload gear. Make sure you buy his hypercharge as soon as possible though, because that's the thing that's keeping Griff in the meta. Grom can be a devastating pick against noobs, but he's really hard to hit shots consistently against better players. Use the first gadget either in super bushy maps or to tank some sniper shots, and the second one everywhere else. I won't even talk about his first star power, it desperately needs a rework, so get the second one, no questions asked. Shield and damage are the go-to gears, but you can also get the gadget cooldown one to spam it more often. And as for his hypercharge, I wouldn't say it's worth it just because it takes ages to get. yet, but you can buy it if you want to, it's decent. Gus is the single most picked brawler in ranked. We get it guys, you only know how to play with one brawler. Use the cookie popper gadget with his spirit animal star power and either the shield or the damage alongside with the health gear, which is super underrated on Gus. Health gear every time guys. His hypercharge is really good because of the buffs you get, so consider purchasing it. The Milky Boy is finally here. Hank's best build is his second gadget, first star power as well as the health and damage gears, and you need to buy his hypercharge too because it's really strong. Simple, right? Jacky is really strong as a last pick in rank. Use her pneumatic booster gadget and either the first star power if you're up against aggressive brawlers or the second one if you're facing tougher matchups. Although I would argue that the first one is the better one overall. You can't go wrong with the speed and gadget cooldown gears, but you can also experiment with damage, health and shield one. Also, definitely get her hypercharge, it really suits her playstyle. The Chinese man still remains one of the best brawlers right now, even without having a hypercharge. With Jae Yong, you should always pick his first gadget and star power and choose between shield, damage or gadget cooldown gears. Janet is really strong still, especially in bushy gem grab maps, so pick the first gadget to scout those bushes out. You don't need the second one. And that's because if you need to escape, you should hit your shots to charge up your super and fly away. The second star power is by far the better one, but the first one has some use cases too, for example in Snake Prairie. But for gears, go with damage and either the shield or vision gear depending on how many bushes the map has. Her hypercharge is carrying her right now, even though it's hard to charge it up, so make sure to buy it ASAP. Next up is Jessie. Always use her first star power. Use the second gadget with the pet and damage gears and heist, but switch to her first one everywhere else. You can also try vision in bushy maps or shield instead of the pet gear. Her hypercharge is not that strong, but it helps her because she's super weak right now. Juju is still one of the strongest throwers right now. You can get value out of her second gadget every time, and I do think it's the better one, but you can also use the first if you consistently hit those long range shots. Use the first star power if the enemy has low DPS brawlers, but switch to numbing needles pretty much everywhere else. As for gears, you can't go wrong with shield and damage, but you can experiment with vision too. Now Kaze is really complicated. I've seen people using the second gadget to sneak up on the enemy while invisible, and although it might be good in some maps, the first one is your best bet. Her second star power is the better one overall, and shield as well as damage gears are a must. But if you're using the invis gadget, you can go with the health gear because you're not going to be healing up when you change form. There might be a use case for vision gear too in maps like Sneaky Fields, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. Her hypercharge is super strong and you can cycle it really fast as well, so it's definitely worth getting. But her husband Kenji is not that complicated. His first gadget would only be useful in modes like Siege or Cleaning Duty, where the objective is to collect something. But those aren't in rotation anymore, so you're better off using the second one as well as the second star power. The best gear for Kenji is damage by far, and then the gadget cooldown, shield, or maybe health against tougher matchups. His hypercharge is still really strong even after the nerfs, so it's definitely worth buying in my opinion. Kit is meta, and we all hate it. Use his cardboard box gadget every time, except if you're playing tanky kit comps and knockouts. I'm only talking about 33s, so you should always use the second star power, but change that if you're a showdown main. Now for gears, shield is really important for Kit because he's super squishy, and you can either go the damage or the gadget cooldown for the second slot. His hypercharge, I don't think we need to talk about that, just buy it. Fun fact number 4. Larry was my first rank 30 brawler after he got nerfed, and he's also probably my favorite brawler in the game. Always use the second gadget and star power as well as the shield and damage gears. But a really underrated gear with Larry and with throwers in general is vision. Throwers don't have fast reload speeds, so vision can help them land those shots instead of trying to guess where the enemy is at inside those bushes. Leon is a really fun assassin. Always use his second gadget, but switch to his first one if you want to scout nearby bushes. If you're a good Leon player, you can get away with using his smoke trail star power, but I always end up using Invisi-Heal instead. Yeah, it's a skill issue, I know. Smoke trails is also really good in passive modes to get a kill and go back faster. But both star powers pair well with his mythic gear, and you can also go shield for the second slot or health if you're using smoke trails. His hypercharge completes his build, and it's a really strong one too. Lily is probably one of the most consistent brawlers in this meta. Always go with the vanish gadget and the second star power, but switch to the first one if the enemy has tankier brawlers. For gears, shield and damage are the better better ones, but you can switch damage with gadget cooldown too. Her hypercharge is a must, so definitely buy it as soon as possible. Lola used to be a really versatile pick, but she gets countered by a lot of meta brawlers right now. You should pick her first gadget almost all the time, except if you want to do some trick shots in Brawl Ball with the second one. Her Sealed with the Kiss star power is the better one overall, and then I wouldn't change the reload and health gears. You can use her in bushy maps with the vision gear too though. Her hypercharge is neither necessary nor really strong, so you don't have to buy it. Lou is still a good brawler and a go-to pick against tanks. Go the first gadget when you're facing against assassins and the cryo syrup everywhere else. His hypothermia star power is the better one overall, and you can actually benefit a lot from the supercharge and damage gears, but feel free to change damage with gadget cooldown, especially if you're using the second gadget. Now his hypercharge can make game-changing plays, so I would buy it if I were you. Lumi got a few nerfs, but she's still one of the best brawlers in the game. Use her second gadget and star power, as well as the shield and either the damage or the gadget cooldown. But you can try out vision too if the map has a lot of bushes. Now her hypercharge is what kept her in the meta. Definitely worth buying. Next up is Maisie. Combine her first gadget with her second star power for some easy kills and use either the shield, damage or gadget cooldown gears. Her hypercharge is really good, so you can buy it if you'd like. Mandy technically has the longest range in the game. Use her first gadget in combination with her super for some easy kills against aggressive brawlers, but the second one everywhere else because it's just better. For star powers, the second one is useless, so don't even bother. Shield and damage are always gonna be your best gears, and her hypercharge is the thing that's keeping Mandy from being an F tier brawler right now, so buy that too. Max energy! Yeah, okay. Use phase shifter 100% of the time, and either the first star bar against passive comps or the second one against tankier opponents. Shield and damage are the best for open maps, but you can also go the speed and vision for those busher ones. Her hypercharge can easily change the outcome of the game, so definitely worth getting. Meeple is really versatile in terms of his build. Use the first gadget to control the map, or the second one against aggressive brawlers or to score goals in Brawl Ball. I really like the extra damage you deal with the first star power, but if the map is really open or if it's overtime in Brawl Ball, it becomes useless, so keep that in mind and change accordingly. His best gears are shield and damage, but you can also buy the vision gear for busher maps too. Meg can create a lot of pressure, but her abilities are not that interesting. Use her toolbox gadget and her 4 shield star power against snipers and the other build everywhere else. She's really good with the damage and health gears, but you can also experiment with shield and again vision. Meg can charge up her hypercharge really quickly, but it's not that strong, so I leave that up to you.
Melodians, 탈도가 안 돼!
I didn't do the voiceover this time, for obvious reasons. Use her shield gadget pretty much everywhere. Her other one can be good in maps like parallel plays, where you can stay behind the walls that are in the zones and press it to get extra range. But I would still use the shield there too. Her first star power is the better one, and for gears you need the health one for sure, and then either the shield, damage or gadget cooldown. Her hypercharge, really strong. Should you get it? Definitely. Now it's the monkey's turn. Miko's first gadget can be used not only to finish a kill yourself, but to help out your teammates finish theirs too. Use his second star power in haste and the first one pretty much everywhere else, and you can't go wrong with damage and shield gears. His hypercharge, one of the worst ones. Should you get it? Absolutely not. Mo is really strong now. Here's his build. Use his first gadget all the time, his first star power most times, and only change to his second one if you're playing more passively and you want some extra range. I personally use damage and gadget cooldown, but you can change the shield if you'd like, and buy the vision gear too for those bushy maps. Now the reason he's really strong is because of his new hypercharge, so definitely get that if possible. Mortis, our number 1 bad random. Use his second gadget and star power and his mythic gear all the time. There are some cases where you can use the first gadget too, but only if you're facing against super squishy brawlers. I personally like the second one though, because you can't charge up your super with the first one. For the second gear slot though, you can either go shield if you seem to be dying a lot, or damage if you're really good at cycling your supers. And as for his hypercharge, you should buy it when you get the chance, because it's one of the best hypercharges in the game. Mr. Penis is next. First, first, you must have the Agent Penis skin. It's the ultimate flex. After you buy it, you should definitely buy his second star power, as well as the shield and damage gears. As for his gadgets though, it's personal preference. I was using the first one for a long time, but I like how annoying you can be with the second one. His hypercharge got buffed, but it's still not that great because the penguin's health has decayed, so buy it only if you really want it. Nani has a special place in my heart. Her aiming is hard to master, but you can destroy everyone once you do. Go the first gadget with the second star power and heist in hot zone to teleport to the safe or to stay in the zone for longer, but change to her other build everywhere else. Always use shield and then pick the health gear if you're facing against snipers or the supercharge gear if you're not. Her hypercharge is not strong at all, so I wouldn't advise you buy it. Next up is Nita. Use her first gadget against tanks and the second one everywhere else, and for heist too. Her first star power is only strong against brawlers that cannot take down the bear easily, so you'll end up using hyper bear most of the time. You also want to be using Nita in bushier maps, so the best gears for her are speed and damage. And her hypercharge can recharge up quickly, so I would definitely get it too. Alli is a really strong last pick. Use her first gadget most of the time and only change to the second one if you're facing against assassins. Her second star power is the better one, and the gears you should be using are either health, damage, or maybe speed in bushy maps. Otis is really versatile, but his builds sadly aren't. Always use the second gadget and star power as well as the supercharge and damage gears, and change damage with vision in bushy maps. His hypercharge is really good, but Otis is a good pick even without it. Wham bam, here comes Pam! Personally, I use the second gadget all the time, except if I play her in more open maps against harder matches. Mama Squeeze is also the better star power, but feel free to use the first one if you know you're not gonna get value from the turret's damage. As for gears, the mythic one is by far the best, and then you can go with damage or, you guessed it, vision again. Pearl is next, and her build is simple. Always go the first gadget and second star power, as you wanna play her primarily in modes like knockout or bounty. But the first star power can also be useful against tanks in modes like Brawl Ball. You can then get the damage and gadget cooldown gears, and maybe the health one too. But don't you dare buy that abomination of a hypercharge. It's just a waste of coins. Fun fact number 5. This penny skin was the first Power League skin ever released. I feel really lucky to have it. Anyway, always use the salty barrel gadget to kill assassins or tank sniper shots, and the first star power to charge up your super faster. Her best gears are damage and shield, but you can again buy the vision gear because Penny thrives in those bushy maps. Her hypercharge is A tier, so I would definitely recommend it. Okay, so when you think of a sniper, who's the first brawler that comes into mind? Piper's best build is simple. Use the first gadget against assassins and tanks, and the second one pretty much everywhere else. Snappy sniping is the better star power by far, but you can surprise a lot of people if you're using the other one, especially in more bushy maps. For gears, you should definitely buy shield, damage, and vision, and her hypercharge is also a strong one, so I would definitely purchase that too. Poco was the first support brawler in the game. His first gadget is really good, but protective tunes can counter so many brawlers such as Lou or Ollie. Screeching solo is by far the better star power, but you can try comps like Poco double tank in trophy matches using the first star power. As for gears, I always go gadget cooldown and damage, but you can also buy the speed if you want to. His hypercharge is nothing special, but it completes his kit and you can also charge it up quite fast. RT is a really OP brawler right now. Use his first gadget and star power against snipers and passive modes, and the second ones if you're facing against aggressive brawlers. For gears, you can't go wrong with gadget cooldown and shield, but honestly, all gears pair well with RT. His hypercharge is busted, and it's expected to get nerfed soon, but I would buy it if I were you. Rico is not that strong anymore, and our ranked randoms are slowly realizing it. But his best build is the first gadget and the second star power to deal extra damage alongside with the damage and reload gears. You can also use the other gadget in passive modes and in maps like Belle's Rock, for example, or the other star power if the enemy has wall breakers. His hypercharge is super worth it, so go ahead and buy it if you can. Fun fact number 6. Rosa was the first broken brawler ever released. Her gadgets are simple. Grow light when you want to fill up the map with grass, and unfriendly bushes when the map already has grass. Her second star power is the better one though, because she doesn't have a lot of damage. So buy that as well as the speed and damage gears. But you can also experiment with the gadget cooldown cooldown one to see which combination you like the most. Her hypercharge is super basic, so you can buy it if you really want to. Next up, the adorable doggo. Ruffs can use his first gadget to defend against single shot brawlers, and his second one to spam it and create pressure on the map. His first star power is the better one, but you can go field promotion too if you're planning on picking 2 tanks with him and just camp in knockout. Damage and shield are by far the best gears for him, and his hypercharge is really vital for his kit, so get this one too. Sam is one of the trickiest brawlers to master. Use his first star power and gadget all the time. Although I must say that I had some fun on stream the other day while using the second gadget. Yes! Let's go! Like, look at this. Boom! I didn't even knock him back. Let's do this. Boom! Give me the ball! Yes! Let's go! Boom! I actually kind of like this gadget. Not gonna lie, I'm having fun. And it recharges instantly too. Like, check this out. Boom! You should definitely tune in for the streams too, by the way. For gears, go shield or gadget cooldown alongside with damage, and definitely get his hypercharge too if you're planning on pushing him. Fun fact number 7. I also thought Sandy was a she, but I recently found out he's a he, just like Jean. Use his second gadget and his Rude Sand star power alongside with the damage and gadget cooldown gears. I can't seem to find value from his mythic gear, so it's not worth buying compared to those two in my opinion. His hypercharge is one of the strongest ones, it just takes a while to charge up. Shade is a really situational brawler, but his builds are actually simple. Get the first gadget, the second star power and the shield gear, and then you can change between damage or gadget cooldown for the second slot. His hypercharge is broken, so try getting it before it gets nerfed even more. Ironically, the first brawler you get is near the end of this list. Shelly's best gadget is clay pigeons, of course, and you can go shell shock and brawl ball and band-aid everywhere else. Her gadget is the best thing about her though, so definitely buy the gadget cooldown gear, and don't forget to get the shield or speed ones too for those bushy maps. I wouldn't say her hypercharge is worth it in my opinion. It's just a bigger super, and she's not that strong regardless. Spike is a forgotten brawler at this point. Go the first gadget against assassins and the second one anywhere else. You can try out the fertilized star power in maps with a lot of walls, but curveball is by far the better one in more open maps, just because people don't know how to dodge it. His mythic gear is really good, so buy it alongside with the shield gear because he's super squishy. But you can also get the vision gear if you're planning on pushing in bushier maps. His hypercharge is the same with Shelly's, so it's basically a larger super. But this time it's up to you if you want to buy it because it's actually kinda strong. Sprout has a special place in my heart. If Mortis and Edgar didn't exist, Sprout would absolutely be my main. Use the second gadget and the first star power all the time. They're simply better right now. But you can argue that his second star power might be useful sometimes because the shield transforms Sprout into a mini tank. His supercharged gear is essential as you get your super in 4 hits instead of 5, and his shield gear is good to have too. His hypercharge is not good at all, and us Sprout mates are waiting for a rework, so until then, save your coins. Squeak has got to be one of the most annoying brawlers in the game. Well, after Tick of course. Use his wind up gadget most of the time. Only pick Residue if you're playing in maps like Center Stage or Dueling Beetles where you can block an entire lane with it. His first star power is better if you know that the opponents are grouping up, but I always use Super Sticky to be extra annoying. It's your choice. For gears, go gadget cooldown and then either damage or shield depending on the matchups. His hypercharge is mid, so I'll leave that up to you to decide. Stu is also one of my favorites. His mobility is simply insane. Use the second gadget to break open key areas of the map and counter throwers, tanks or other assassins. In more open maps though, you can use the speed turret. As for his star powers, I always pick Gaso Heal, guys. It's personal preference for the most part, but I feel like you can get a lot more value out of it combined with the hypercharge, which you should definitely buy as well, by the way. And for gears, go shield and damage for the most part, but switch to vision or even speed in bushier maps. Surge is really fun to play. All Snake Tag fans will disagree with this build because all you do is play Showdown. That's why you suck in rank too. So pick the second gadget against tankier brawlers and the first one against tougher matchups. But for your star powers, always pick the second one. And start playing more 3-3s for God's sake. Shield and damage are good, but change shield to speed if you're playing in bushy maps. His hyper is good, but I don't know if it's worth spending 5,000 coins on that. There are better ones out there, and it doesn't change the way Surge is played. I'll leave that up to you. Now Tara. I would personally use her second gadget all the time, even in maps like Snake Prairie. Tara is not good without her pets. For star powers, the heal one is the better one, and you can also get the gadget cooldown and speed gears, as you're primarily going to be playing her in bushy maps. Hopefully. Her hypercharge is super worth it, and definitely a good investment. The most annoying brawler in the game. Tick mains really need to understand his best build. Always go the last hurrah gadget if the enemy has anything aggressive. If not, then you can change to the first one. Now don't get me wrong, well oiled is a perfect star power, but Tick's reload speed is so slow, so he needs the second star power for the most part. Only pick the first one in modes like knockout, and if the enemy doesn't have anything aggressive. Get the mythic and shield gears and consider buying his hypercharge too. It's not the best choice, but it's decent, especially when the gas closes in knockout. Now the brawler that hasn't been released yet. Chunk's best build is their first gadget, which leaves a pile of hands on the ground, combined with the second star power, which reveals enemies inside bushes if they're stepping on the ants. Now their second gadget heals them up for the full damage the projectile would have dealt, so it can be used against single shot brawlers that can deal a lot of damage, like Piper. Chunk is a tank, so their best gears would probably be speed and then health, especially if you're not using the second gadget, but feel free to experiment with other gears too when they get released. And lastly, Willow is a really underrated thrower, especially if you can hit those supers. Use the dive gadget if you're facing off against aggressive brawlers or against throwers like Dynamike, but change to the first gadget if there's nothing aggressive or high damage that you need to take cover from. Her second star power is good for scoring goals in Brawl Ball, but use the first one everywhere else. Her hypercharge, not that good. I wouldn't spend my coins on that if I'm being honest. Now if you learned something today, make sure to leave your like and subscribe, guys. I need your help to reach 100k subs, so let's make it happen together. And with that, you can watch this video right here to see which are the most versatile brawlers right now. And hopefully, I'll see you there.